Right, welcome back. This is Simple Farmer 78 and we're on flat map today, and this video is just about creating fields and helping you tidy up the edges of your field, etc. Straight lines, blah blah blah. Right, now the equipment we're going to use to start this video today is the Lizard 6-meter subsoiler, which is actually found under the plow section. It's on the plow section on the mod hub as well, and there it is. It's a cheap piece of kit, don't require a lot of power, and has a plough texture, which not all subsoilers do. So that's the first bit, and the good thing about this bit of kit, it has a 3-point link on the rear of it as well, which is what's allowing us to attach the Lemkin Vario 110 FEB 300 to 90. So we'll just find that, and that's under disc harrows. I'm going somewhere. There she is. It's a Vario Pack 110. Another cheap piece of kit, so you can just have this laying around and it doesn't cost you a great deal. Now it's actually a front cultivator, but it works in reverse as well. So that's it. All we're going to do is now create a bit of a field. So start the old tractor up, but if we, as you notice here, we'll select allow create fields. Now if I hit the worker button, nothing happens, as I'm sure you know, because you're trying to create a field, there's nothing for him to work. So what we're going to do is we just drop the plough down, just go forward a bit, make a bit of a mess. When we've got a little bit of field, you then switch to the cultivator, lower that down, hit the worker, and off it goes. Now unfortunately he won't stop. He will just keep going now until he either hits something or runs out of land, and then they get really confused. But what it does do is creating you a nice straight field, so you haven't got to worry about your straight lines, whether you're extending a field or whatever. It's creating you a nice straight line. Now we'll move on to another exactly the same setup I've got over here, and what I'm going to do here is I'm going to show you how it does not stop. We're going to move him back onto the created field, and you can see I've got a little line at the other end. Now because I've got a bit of created field, I just hit the worker and off he goes. Well, if I could allowed created field on, my mistake. So try it again. So make sure I allow created fields on, hit the worker, and away he goes. Now like I said, he's doing a grand job, but he's not going to stop when he gets to the end. He's just going to keep going. So if you want to use it to create the straight edges to your field, it's great, but to actually get your field done, it's not going to happen. He will just keep going, and that's it. And when he turns around at the end, it gets confusing, because he's not going to stop. So we'll stop him there. We'll flick back to the other one, and you can see what I mean. He's just going to go and go and go until you either run out of owned land or he decides that enough's enough. But that's a simple way of making a nice straight line on a field. For 2 bits of equipment, it will cost you less than £25,000, dollars, whatever you use on the game. And then there you go. Well, so we've now run out of land, and he's going to spin it about. But this is the reason he's going to overlap himself, is because the cultivator is only 3 meters wide and the plough's 6. So that's what he's working on. So there we go. That's him done. But as you can see, the return journey is extremely slow. We're down to 4 miles an hour now, touching on 3. Bear in mind this is flat map, so it's not a hill. It's just purely because the worker is totally confused to what's going on. But we'll leave him running when we move on to the rest of the video. So this one was basically just to demonstrate they don't stop. And now the next part of this video, I'm going to show you how to tidy up rough edges on your field. So as you can see, this field's not very straight at all. Pretty shocking, to be fair. So what we're going to do is going to use the worker to straighten it out. Now this time we've got the Lizard Vario on the front, and on the back we have the field roller, which, if you're looking for it, is found in the miscellaneous section. And there's the in-game roller. If we scroll along, we've got just a field roller. So easy enough again to find on the mod hub, and this comes in different lengths. You can have this at 3, 4 and 6 meters. So for this instance, I've got the 4 meter one on the back. So what we're going to do is we start up the tractor, and again, the first thing we need to do is we just lower the roller at the back. Once the roller's down, because we are straightening the field, we can just move on so the cultivator's on the field, hit go, and now he's just going to straight line that field for us. That's it. So he's going to delete all the atrocities on the side of the field. You've got to keep an eye on them, because as you can see, he stopped, but he did restart. And then if there's any bits left or he's not taken enough off, you can just turn him around. But you must do this yourself, because if you leave this going, he will just turn around and delete the rest of your field. So as we're going to see now, he's going to spin it round and just do another pass down the field, again based on the cultivator, because it's 3 meters wide, so not based on the roller. So he's going to overlap a bit here because of where his last length was, and we've obviously deleted the field. But there you go, he's squaring it off nicely for us. So there's a nice easy way of tidying up your fields, and that is creating nice straight ones and then tidying them up at the end. There we go. If you don't stop him, he's going to reverse turn now and just destroy the field completely. So always remember to stop the worker. Right, if we switch back and we see what our other friend's doing, he's still on his way back at the minute, so we'll keep an eye on him and see what happens as the video goes on. So that's deleting the fields, straightening the edges. As you can see, gone from an absolute mess to nice and tidy. Now we're going to go on to something different now, because what we're going to do here is, we always have this trouble with the forage harvester towing trailers while they don't connect, blah blah blah. Well, if you download the Kuhn 580, which is just under the forage harvesters, it is a lot cheaper, and it will connect straight directly to the trailers. You can connect the trailer directly to the back of this one. So the only other one you can do that with is this little Roosterlemash one. It's hard to pronounce, it is Russian after all. But the 580, you can attach a trailer to that. None of the others attached to a normal trailer. I believe the sugarcane trailers will attach to them all, but for a normal size trailer you can't attach it. Now we're going to do something a bit different on this one, because as you can see, I've got a blue thing attached to it. Ah, what's going on here with it? So if we go along to miscellaneous section, we have here the Lizard SP8. Now this is an interesting little mod. Not 100% sure why this works, but it does work. But you can attach 2 cultivators, because you actually find this in the subsoilers section of the mod hub. This is where it gets confusing, because you read at the bottom there, it says it's designed to assemble 2 cultivators, the KPE38, but you actually find it in the subsoilers section, and when you download the cultivator KPE38 you get the SP8 with it, so it's a sort of a little pack. Anyway, you download this mod, you can fit it up so you can attach 2 trailers to it. Now I know what you're thinking, 580, bit down on horsepower, and also I haven't got the 6 meter header on this, which is what is recommended for this forage harvester. I've put the 9 meter header on it, and we're going to see if it works. As you can see, I've upfilled the trailers to show you that it will flip between the 2. And then we're off. I've put 2 different trailers on just to show you that you don't like have to use any particular trailer, all types of silage trailer will work. And there we go, the workers away, filling up the trailer nicely, and no power issues at all. Bearing in mind it's only 500 horsepower and it's already switched to the next trailer. Right, just look like it had on flat mat. So he's going to go along. There you go, switched over, switching between the trailers, no problem at all. Obviously the turning can get a bit interesting, but then any trailer on the forage harvester doesn't turn exactly nicely. But if you wanted to do this harvest yourself, absolutely fine. But again, you do need a big mat to use this sort of system. But you will tow, you're towing here over 100 tonne of chaff in one go without changing trailers too often. So think about it what you will. It is a way of getting the workers to motor along. If you have one of these at each end of a big field, it wouldn't take very long at all to get the job done, would it? See, he's now full up, and that was that. So that works fine. But then we're going to move on to a bit of another system. Now, this time, instead of using the SP8 to connect the trailers, what I've actually done is I've used a John Deere seeder to connect 3 trailers. Now this seeder is a bit strange in the respect that, again, this shouldn't work, but it does. Let's get the seeders there. It's a very cost effective mod. So it is the John Deere 8350, only a £6,000 mod. It's just found under seeders, great little seeder as well. But what's quite good about this seeder is if we can get it selected, there we go. If you hold L1 and move left and right, you can see it's just shifting that bar in and out. Okay, and then R1 shifts this bar in and out. So we've got them set up there. We go ahead, start the old forage harvester up, and again these trailers are like almost full, and it will pull them all, no problem at all. Again, turning's it's not terrible, to be fair. We'll go, we're not crashing into each other. So to be fair, this probably actually turns better than the dual trailer system, but there you go, it gets stuck. That's what happened to me before. You just get wedged. There we go. Takes a little bit of a while to try and pull it out, but it can be done. So we're going to go and give this a go. Now these trailers are quite far away from this harvester, as you can see, but I do promise you it will work. Again, turning wouldn't be pretty, but not too worried about that right now. We're going to pull up to the old field, whack the old worker on, get him into it, that is. Oh no, what's going on? He's turned the seeder on, that's my mistake. And go. Right, first mistake I made there is I had turned the seeder on and not the worker. He will actually be seeding behind me as it goes, which is quite amusing. And this is 3 trailers, 1 Croom 580, 9 metre header, and you just keep going until the trailers are full. So if you was doing a field like this, it wouldn't take long, but you can see, if you look behind him there, that he is actually seeding the field as he goes. Now if you've got no seed in it, and you haven't got the buy now seed on, then you won't have an issue with this. That's just to show that it is possible to connect 3 trailers. Bit of a hack really, Not something I personally would use, but there we go. Right, let's just go back and see how our old friend's doing. See what's happened with the old worker bee. There we go. He's finally given up. And what's he done? So he did 2 passes and then he gave up. So in theory, if we spun him around again, don't worry about the little patch on the left there. That was something that I created earlier, trying to find the edge of my land. Oh, we don't like it here, is he? Don't try when you're close to the edge of your land. They don't like it. Well, we'll set him off again and see what happens. But again, this time there's a good chance he may turn to the left and come back up the section that's already ploughed rather than turn to the right. So we can't rely on him doing like any more than 1 pass really, and you do need to keep an eye on him, because if we went back and started this guy off again, he would just go and go and go. Well, now so we've done the deleting. Now we're going to switch back to another. See what's going on here. There we go. Failures full. Now, just to see what happens when they turn. We're going to. I can't do it, right? No, we don't have enough controls. But, there we go. Yeah, what we're going to do, just to see how well he turns, we're going to unload the trailer. Like so. And do. Unload another bit of another one, shall we, just to make sure. Because I'm interested to know how they turn as well. Right, let's see what happens. See if the worker can cope with the turn or not. So the only downside I can see using a 9 metre header instead of 6 metre is he's going to line up with a cedar box. So if that's the case, if you decide to use this unorthodox system, I would probably just use the 6 metre header, and then you're going to come out with a harvested and seeded field. Well, he's done the turn, needs a lot of room, so he's done it, but yeah, as you can see there, he's lining up with the where the seeder goes, not where the header, where the harvester goes. But it did make the turn. I'm impressed. If we switch back and we'll see, yeah, as you can see there, you zoom in, he has seeded that section with canola. So this could be a forage harvest and seed operation all in one go. Obviously he's going to get stuck on the pile there, so there we go. So a bit different, but it would work. So this is what I mean by field creation. He's now coming back up a bit we've already ploughed. So really the worker is only really useful in creating a field when you want a straight line, nice simple job. And then we've obviously showed you with the worker how to delete the field. And then we've looked at the dual trailer system. You can use the seeder in this system as well, but the trouble is, as we've seen on the triple system, the seeder is doing seeding, which you might not necessarily want, so stick with the SP8 if you don't want it. I'll just turn him off and we'll just go for a little spin round and I'll show you how this thing operates. As far as turning is concerned, it will jam up as well, I think. Not as bad because it just makes it jump. There you go. Obviously reversing is leaves a little to be desired, because if the trailers are off square like they are there, they're going to do what they want to do rather than what you want them to do. You know, that didn't work out too bad. But then to round the video off, I just got one more silly little experiment that I did involving the John Deere seeder again, but this time involving 2 trailed lifters and 2 rather large plows, as we can see. Now these plows we've got here, they are just the in-game ones, the fs19, which are 10.5 meters wide each. So yeah, I was just messing around really, but we're gonna get to it. It was a bit, when you want to unfold the plows, it can be a little bit complicated, because you want to make sure you do the right one first. So we are gonna, not that one, need the other plow. We're going to unfold this plow. I'm going to push out that other plow slightly. Select that. You'll have to play about a bit. You need to move forward very slightly once you start unfolding them, because they're both the same, which is no good. So the second one we've unfolded, we are going to turn it round. You need to have both ploughs and allow create fields. And what we're going to do, we're going to bring the seeders in, seeder arms in, like so. A bit more. And then I'm going to drop the ploughs. And then go. Not quite touching there, so we'll knock the old seeder arm in a bit. And knock the other one in. There you go. And now there you go. They are doing a 20 metre section of ploughing. Obviously this is not the fastest process, as you can see. This is John Deere is at max power. But that was just something I was playing with the seeder, just to see how far I could push it. And these seeders can also be linked together, so on those arms you could run 2 more seeders, and then 3 seeders, 4 seeders, etc. I may make a video on that later, I'm not sure yet. But how to create fields 20 metres at a time. So there you go. Again, that will just keep going until he runs out of room. Not sure what that's going to happen when it gets to the end. So we'll have a little recap. It's just been quite a long video, which is a bit unusual for me. So creating straight lines on your fields. Lizard 6 metre subsoiler. Use a mod. And then disc harrow. You have the Lemkin Vario Pack 110 FEP 390 on the back. Again, it's found under disc harrows. And then we did some field deleting. So again, we had the Lemkin on the front. And under miscellaneous, you can find the, quite simply called field roller. Like I say, it comes in different widths. If we look at it there, you can have a 3 metre, 4 metre and a 6 metre. Use whichever size suits you, doesn't really matter. And that will delete your fields in a straight line. And then the last job we did was obviously connecting the unrealistic together. Obviously the fire trailer system is done with the John Deere seeder, and you can seed at the same time. So field of corn in one foul swoop turn into a field of canola or wheat, whatever you want to put in there. And you see the lines there to say it's growing. Obviously season isn't on this video, just to show you what's going on. So that'll be quite good. Nice and simple. And then the dual system was just the SP8, any size tray you like, and then you're carting around 100 tonne of gear, no problem. Now in relation to this one, the 580, it pulled both of these setups very easily without any problem at all. So it has plenty of power. You do not need 1000 horsepower. Obviously if you are on a map that is a bit hilly, it will probably struggle, but to be fair, anyone using this sort of setup won't really be struggling. I've just dropped off one of the seeders. These are all quite complicated to set up because you need a tractor to set them up. Just park the trailers next to each other, like very close, and you can back the seeder onto the middle one and then adjust the arms outwards just to connect quite simply to the last one. So it's not, you know, the worst thing in the world to set up, to be fair, because this arm's quite adjustable and you'll be able to sort of get it round to where you want it without too much bother. Yeah. So you can do it with a rear steer there. Sure, you can do it with a tractor. And then the John Deere setup. Where has she gone? Right, when it gets to the end, it just stops. So that was just a seeder again. 2 trail lifters, which are in game, and then the 2 plows. And it will create a 21 metre swath all in one go. But as you see, it is incredibly slow. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. Just like, comment and subscribe. If you got any comments, please leave them in the box below, and I shall get on with making my next video. Thank you very much. This is Simple Farmer 78. Enjoy farming.